Second Inspiring the Mind session of the year today. We're still getting back into the flow of things. I'm aware some people are still sort of coming out of exam season, so we appreciate everyone who has today. And yeah, a big thanks to Darina for joining us as well. I'll do a quick introduction and then basically keen to just hand over the mic to you for a bit of a presentation on yourself, on ekolive, and then move into sort of some Q&A. So Darina is the CEO and founder of ekolive with a PhD in biotechnologies. I was looking to sort of see how we simplify this. Basically, to summarize, ekolive supports plant health and growth without pesticides while improving farmer yields, is my interpretation here. There's a strong focus on bio-leaching, bio-mining, bioremediation, and lots more that I'm sure you'll be able to give far more detail on. So Darina is an expert in sustainability and innovation, a multi-award winner for all of her entrepreneurial and innovative work across sort of both regional, national and pan-European awards. So amazing to sort of have you with us today. Darina is also an expert in sort of agriculture, sustainability and innovation as a member of several prestigious EU bodies. And there's a nice connection here as well that you're also a researcher at Tromsø University, which is obviously one of the key partners within the Inspiring the Minds consortium, and that you've in fact also participated in one of the previous Cloud Earth Eye projects supporting Tamadere as well. So nice to sort of see things looping around a little bit. So with that, I'm happy to sort of hand over, say again, a big thank you for your presence today and really looking forward to hearing your presentation.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you also very much for, opportunity to be here. So it's pleasure, definitely. And I will, start immediately, check if I'm able to share the screen. Okay, seems I'm able. Good. And please let me know if you can see it already somehow in presenting mode.
Yeah, that's in present mode now.
Yes, okay, fantastic. So most of it, it was said, so I'm biotechnologist by my background and CEO of ekolive, and ekolive is biotechnological company. And I'm happy that I can tell you more what we are doing. So I will tell you how our journey started. So we started with the raw materials, bio-leaching of raw materials, but with the ecological type of bio-leaching, where it's not conventional, like usually, today, gold, copper, zinc is already mined by bacteria. It's called biomining, but it's done by autotrophic bacteria, which take energy from decomposition of the sulfide minerals. But by this is produced sulfuric acid and the metals are released. In our case, we use other type of bacteria which produce only organic acids. And these organic acids are more environmentally safe, and they can also solubilize minerals and release different elements. So our story started with silica sand. I really love to explain it on silica sand because I can easily always show it and explain it, that we are turning actually brown silica sand into beautiful white silica sand. And why we do so? Because maybe you did not hear about it, but world is facing to global sand crisis. 95% of sand is in the deserts, but it's so brown as you probably saw it already. So the most of the sand is really brown, and it's not suitable then for glass production, not even for the concrete production for construction industry, because the particles have too smooth surface. And it's estimated that we have last 20 years of sand supply for glass industry. That's why we were focusing that direction. So means we were working with different silica sand deposits, and we were trying to create beautiful white sand from their sand, brown sand, beautiful white sand. And by this we increase the quality, but also the price of the sand, because low quality sand cost, I don't know, from €5 up to €20 maximum, and the high quality sand can cost from 45 even up, depends how far it is, because also transport costs are quite expensive. So by this we were increasing the quality. And we didn't know, but actually in this process, we were producing also something very valuable for agriculture. And I will tell you more about problems which, I mean, agriculture sphere is facing. So today is a lot of soil. 1/3 of soil is definitely already degraded, and it's becoming more and more every day. And that means that soil is dead. It do not contain microbiome working properly because we were using too much of agrochemicals, and we are always using more and more agrochemicals, and that's not good for soil health. So you can see that, okay, how much of nitrogen fertilizers, pesticides usage increased in last 50 years. But that's not only problem for the soil, but also then our food contain pesticides. And there is 200,000 of people dying, every year, and millions of people are getting sick due to these agrochemicals in our food. And what is also problem is that the nutrient content in our food is decreasing rapidly. And this is because the plants cannot take nutrients from the minerals in the soil if there is not right symbiosis with bacteria and microorganisms in the soil anymore. So you can imagine it like in the mining industry, the bioleaching process, how it works, that it makes minerals liquid. Actually, the same process is happening in the soil. So also before agrochemicals existed, the plants were able to feed themselves from the minerals in the soil, because soil is also just the minerals, and all the nutrients are in the minerals. So plants can feed themselves if there is symbiosis with bacteria. But what we do in this eco-bioleaching process is actually replicating the symbiosis in the root system. So means we are making minerals liquid and creating all the necessary nutrients like iron, manganese, zinc, silicium, calcium. Plants also need such elements, otherwise they are not healthy. And then also in this process, we are having the microflora, means microorganisms, which can do fantastic processes in the soil, like nitrogen fixation, denitrification processes. So whole nitrogen cycle is secured by microorganisms in the soil. And then also phosphorus solubilization, even the CO2 fixation in the soil. I could tell you a lot about CO2 fixation, because actually the soil is the largest carbon sink. It can even have more carbon fixed than the ocean. But the soil health is very important there. So non-healthy soil which are degraded, they cannot fix CO2 anymore. And then also during the eco-bioleaching process, there was a production of different metabolites. So I mentioned organic acids, but there are also different alcohols, bacteriocins, phytohormones, and they are all natural to the plant, because that exactly would be produced in the root system. And by these metabolites, actually the plants can be much stronger, but also have immunity to many different diseases. And to give you some examples how then this works in the reality. So if you apply few liters per hectare of this, this we call it eco-fertile, it's kind of biome stimulant. So you see that we have a lot of studies by universities from Czech Republic, Turkey, and so on, where we were able to fully replace the fertilizers and also fungicides. So that's big opportunity for the farmers to save the costs, but also be more ecological and regenerative. This is example on the barley from Amrun Island, so northern Germany, where it was added to the agrochemicals, so just added to the NPK only 3.5 liter per hectare, and the barley created much more tillers. So it's, I mean, the yield is increased, but in general, you see how much it is greener, chlorophyll. So it's boosting in the general, the strength of the plant. And then also football stadiums are happy about the results because the roots, they go deeper. So the grass have better stability. And also they need less fungicides in the football stadium. So for example, big football clubs like Schalke or RB Leipzig, they are using our products. And then this is example what farmer from eastern Slovakia, Jakubova Voľa, he sent us, that this is really the result what he have, what a big difference, but it's not only on the plant, what you can see, but also the root system is becoming bigger, so the yield is very much increased. And the investment is just 10 euro per hectare, so it's, I mean, quite nice opportunity for the farmers to increase their yield, but also regenerate the soil, because by applying these products, they can again bring back life to the soil. And not only this, but also this is again northern Germany, Amrun Island. This farmer, you can see that where it's different, the green part and the diseases part, where common scab disease was coming. For this, even pesticides do not exist on the market. However, we saw where the 3 liters per hectare was applied, no common scab was present. So potatoes was completely healthy. And these are our registration trials from Kenya under KEFIS inspection. We tested it in 4 different climatic areas, and the yield increase was always from 23 up to 48% on corn and maize. We done also registration of our products to enter market in Ghana. That was done by KNUST University. And they found out that in okra production, if the actually 3.2 liters per hectare was applied on okra, there was more than 300% yield increase. And in case of cucumbers, there was 291% yield increase. And also in Niger, our partner, Victory Organics, they done some cooperation there, and the yield increase was over 400% if that was applied by spraying. Then we done also in Europe with agricultural university in Serbia. They were applying also by spraying on the cabbage, and the farmer, because it was large-scale trial, farmer was extremely happy that yeah, it's really big yield increase. So it was up to 42% yield increase on the cabbage. In strawberries, that was also a university trial of Novi Sad, where the yield was increased up to 60%, but also 50% reduction of NPK was possible with the increased yield. So there is option how to decrease agrochemicals. And again, other farmer, Boss in Nuremberg, for example, he's using it that strawberries are immune to mildew diseases, which is a big problem for the strawberry producers. And we tested these products also at the York University against, I mean, most usual plant diseases like Erwinia species, Pectobacterium. There was very high efficiency and reduction on the botrytis diseases, and that we can see also then in the vineyard. So in Slovakia especially, we have a lot of vineyards which are able to do it already without pesticides. So you can see the difference. It's never, I mean, 100%, but the grapes and wine are so vital that they can handle much better diseases, and also due to phenolic substances, the grapes are not getting burnt by sun, and they can much better handle dry conditions. And this might be especially due to phytohormones and also ethanol. Ethanol is actually confirmed by Japanese scientists that this is a new, or let's say, new discovery how to make plant resistant to the drought, also means water stress, by ethanol. So plants also need or like some alcohol, then they are more strong. And here you can also see maybe later a video from our largest fruit producer in Slovakia, Dobriežko, and they were using our products especially for soil regeneration, because they are doing analysis of the soil all the time, and they see that they have soil over fertilized. So there is all the nutrients inside, much more than there should be, because they are using fertilizers. However, if they do plant analysis of the leaves, there is nothing. So this is like clear evidence that plants are not able to take it, what is in the soil. And that's why they need to make soil again alive to activate the symbiosis with microorganisms, because microorganisms can make all the nutrients available for the plants. So it's not working only in the mining industry, but also in the agriculture, that microorganisms are very important. And this, our technology was already awarded by World Best Agricultural University Wageningen by Sustainable Innovation Award, or by Innovation Award from BSF, also Bayer by Food Loss Challenge, Ceres Award, what is God of Agriculture from EIT Food Institute, also Golden Sickle from our Ministry of Agriculture. And we are member in a lot of different European initiatives, like Zero Pesticides Agriculture Network, or Project CESING for biological fixation of CO2 in the soil. And all these research centers and universities already tested it directly on different plants and confirmed the efficiency. And that's why we are also recognized as regenerative agriculture enablers. You can see us left down as an alternative to fertilizers. And so, so that was our story, let's say, which started in the mining industry. However, we finished in the agriculture, but we are especially happy with the big impact we have in agriculture, and how we can help not only to farmers to save their costs and make it more ecological, then of course we have more healthy food, but also our soil can be regenerated and be alive again. So thank you very much for your attention, and hope I can answer all your questions, and looking forward to answer them. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Darina. I can see Tamer's already popped his hand up, so we can go over to you, Tamer.
Actually, I try to make to be the first because I think there is a lot of questions coming. So actually, I have questions, comments. If you allow me, Rory, just maybe 2 questions or so, and comment on that. Darina, I think if you remember, we had interview together, I think 2 years ago, something like this. And at this time, you was getting support from EIT raw material, and you was working on the mining sector, right? And now I can see this big change from mining sector into this agriculture sector, which really amazing. And I think it's big success. So my first question, all the case studies that you presented now, is this things like case study you try to develop your product on, or this is people who buy the product from you?
These are different case studies. So means there was a studies from the different universities, and we wanted, we ordered these studies because we want to have evidence for the farmers and for the customers that our products really works. Otherwise, they would not believe, because a really big challenge is that there is a lot of different microorganisms on the market, different biostimulants. So there is a lot of different these microbial-based products for agriculture. However, a lot of them do not work. So that's why the farmers are extremely skeptical, and that's why such studies or case studies are really helping us. We have a lot of case studies from universities, but I presented also, case studies directly from the customers, because usually they are, if they are very happy, then they are sending us the pictures and some testimonials, and they are happy then to tell about their experience. Yeah. And that's, all what happened in the last 2 years, because as you mentioned, we were focusing very much only on the mining industry. We never planned to be in agriculture. So it's actually a big surprise even for us. That was never planned. However, you see, journey brought us somewhere completely else, let's say.
Yes, yes. So actually, this presentation is part of Inspiring the Mind. So I have comment for Inspiring the Mind, but also hope people here as well are attending Seed Plus project. So I think this is a very strong message to people here who are coming for innovation, because I think, Rory, if you agree with me, that innovation is like exactly what Darina is doing. You start something, and then you go with the market and see how market is going, how your product can be used, and maybe you can end with something different. So I think this is a very excellent example to our colleagues here. If you have an idea and the idea doesn't work for some reason, this is not the end of the life. It just maybe it's end here because it will open something different, something big. And this is actually a comment to you, Darina, because sorry, I promise this will be my last comment. I think one of the biggest sustainability problems worldwide is ocean acidification. And this is simply because the people who are use fertilizer, putting a lot of fertilizer, as you highlighted. And as a result, this fertilizer, it's extra, so the soil didn't get it, and it end in the ocean, and it damages the life in the ocean. And I think your solution is like game changing. I think you will make a very add value to stop such things that destroy our ocean. So thank you very much. And the last comment,
we are trying our
yeah, the last comment again for our colleagues here. I am to say I am very very happy to see a lady that lead such big change, and this is actually a good message for the females. I think there is some females here that uh, don't feel that you are underrepresentative. You can make big change, and there is an example here.
Definitely.
I think, yeah, I think that's all from my side. Yes. Sorry, Rory, back to you.
No worries. Thank you, Dama. I actually did have a couple of questions from mine, similar, sort of along the same lines. In terms of thinking about how you actually did the pivot, so starting in mining, then moving to agriculture, you also mentioned Schalke, so sort of football stadiums, grass. What was the process of change and doing that pivot? How did you go about doing that? How did you pick the new market, prioritize, as one question? And then the other question is, again, probably throughout the presentation, you mentioned a whole series of different countries where you're doing this work. So whether that's kind of Germany, Serbia, Ghana, Kenya, etc. So how it would be interesting to understand sort of geographically as well, how you have prioritized and expanded out your reach there.
Okay, yeah, happy to answer. So actually, it's funny story. As I mentioned, we never planned to go or do something in agriculture. I was never even growing nothing by myself, so quite unexperienced. However, in our bioleaching production, means for really making the silica sand from the brown to white, we got the local people skeptical. And we've proven that, okay, we have a technology ETV certified, means this is ecological technology verification certificate with a green guarantee from European Commission. So it's ecological bioleaching for raw materials and resources. However, they said to us, okay, and what is this liquid? And we said, yeah, no, we know that it's kind of fertilizer, because wherever we kind of put it away, then it was everything growing. But we were never thinking, going to this direction. However, the local people called Ministry of the Environment, police, mobile laboratory, firemen, whomever. So they said to us, you need to have a certificate also for this liquid. So the technology was fine in the frame of the mining license, but they were very much interested about this kind of liquid residue. So we started to look into it through AGES Institute and so on. So through the really professional laboratories, they analyzed it. And of course, we had to little improve the composition. So it's not the same. So we know how to improve even the composition. And they said to us that it's highly valuable thing for agriculture. So we started these certification trials because we needed this certificate to prove. However, these trials were so successful that it was unbelievable what was happening to the plants. The yield was so much increased. And we started to do also then testing with the customers. All customers was completely wow that what they were producing with it. So this motivated us on our way that, okay, this is really something extremely special what we have. Even without any knowledge in agriculture, we started to go by this direction. And every new result was bringing us somewhere like, wow, wow. So then we completely refocused the whole company. So now the company focus is really on the agriculture. We are not even selling to the mining companies anymore the technology, because we see what the huge value is, on the agricultural side. Yeah, so that's how it happened. We had to learn on our way, of course, all the interactions in the soil, what plants need and so on. So it was, a lot of also then education in this new direction, a lot of new cooperations with universities and so on now in the new agricultural field. And we started slowly developing from the middle of the Europe. So we started with German market, with the market in Netherlands. We were very much focusing on the Netherlands, but there are very small farmers. So we very quickly learned that this is not our market. We tried also, a cooperation with the very big distributors. For example, in Spain, this did not work out. Even they had fantastic results. We were able to save their lentil and chickpeas, and they had fantastic feedbacks, but they were not able to sell it. However, for example, in Bulgaria, we found fantastic advisor to whom the farmers really trust, and she can sell very much. And also Bulgaria have very big farms with thousands and thousands of hectares. So we were discovering which markets are really good, which markets are not good. So okay. It was also a learning journey. And I would say in Europe, the farms are not so open for innovation, and they do not appreciate or do not value the soil so much, because they have often just rented soil. So they do not care so much. They invest into agrochemicals and that's it. They do not realize that they are actually destroying the soil. However, in Africa, that was a learning for us, that they all care about soil. All their government is really coming from the well-known agricultural universities. They have deep understanding into agriculture, and they are supporting different soil initiatives. They are even, really leading the farmers to care about the soil, because they know that this is the most important thing we really have. So that's why we then started to focus on the market in Africa. So now we are on the market in Zambia, in Kenya, in Ghana, and we continue with more. countries. We have directly support from the government there, even Tanzania. So slowly the more countries. And yeah, we see very high interest there. Not, let's say, like in Europe. In Europe, farmers are, happy with the results, but it's very slow. We see that in Africa, it's becoming much more quicker and much more interest there. That's why we, even we are now in market.
Yeah, that's such interesting learning. And I guess to Tama's point, being agile and being able to respond to the situation is such a good lesson.
I also heard that most of the startups actually, in the end, they are not doing that with what they started originally.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, precise. And I mean, just a quick follow-up question there. I guess you said there was lots of relearning and stuff that you as a team had to do because you're basically going into a completely new industry, which you have, I assume, no experience in. How was that for sort of the team as a whole? Did you need to change people within the team, bring new people in who were agricultural experts, or did you mainly just keep the team the same but change like external advisors? Because I think when you're first starting a company, it's so interesting to understand like how you build that team around you and you adjust to the market and all of that.
Yeah, actually, in our case, it was kind of family-based technology because it started already my mother, and she's now leading our R&D. And all the colleagues, which I know already for a lot of years, 20 years, they decided to quit their jobs and join. So means it's, friendships and family-based team. So it would be difficult to keep them off. So, the core team stayed. However, we get some new experts, microbiological experts, agricultural experts, and this is really big help. If we can get then additionally to the team people who really have a good understanding. But I have to say that also, original part of the team, they also had to learn a lot. Yeah. Even me alone, I had to become really big expert on agriculture and the soil, and I think in the meanwhile, I really learned a lot. So everybody learned, and additionally we get some external experts, and of course also cooperation with the universities. This is also fantastic and very helpful.
Yeah. Okay. Fab. Thank you, Antonio. I think did I see your hand go up briefly?
Very briefly. Yeah. Thank you very much for your speech, Darina. It was very interesting. Well, it caught my attention when it comes to talk Spain, because I live in an area that is Alicante, and in Alicante, the south of Alicante is called the farmer of Europe, because export millions and millions of products for Europe. What I understood is that when it comes to talk to Spain, you receive more cons than pros. Could you mention what kind of cons have you received for Spain, or the farmer for Spain? Is it just about of costly prices, or is about for any reasons? And the second question is about the way that you show the idea of fertilizers. For me, good idea to put in the side of cancer, or the side effects of the pesticides or fertilizers have in the healthy, and also to put in the agenda of the European Union, because I don't know, it could be in the future, because cancer is rising a lot, and doctors don't know about what the cancer said, but one of the effects could be of the pesticides and the fertilizers that comes from this normal the way that the farmers grow the fruits and the vegetables. Okay, so that's my short questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. So I will just mention immediately this cancer, because I'm in such working group of Slovakia for the healthy nutrition and environment and so on. And there we have also one doctor, and he's saying that now that it was never like before, But now 30 years old people are dying him on the table on the cancer, and he believes that it's, of course, also due to, processing of the food in the chemical way, but the main reason are definitely different agrochemicals. So this is not funny what we have in the food. It's really horrible. So definitely would be amazing if that would be possible, at least to reduce somehow the agrochemicals. That's why I love our mission, and it's so important for us to, bring it to the market, because we know that we can change so much. On this world, not only for our health, but in general for the environment. So I would say that, yeah, agrochemicals are really not nice, but of course there are big players behind it. And these big players, they have also different microbiological based products, but I think on purpose they are somehow not effective. So this is also creating the farmer skepticity already to different microbiological products. I don't know if it's on purpose, not on purpose. I don't want to blame nobody, but I see that the farmers are extremely skeptical. And and regarding the Spain, so as I mentioned, we had a very big distributor there, which is big Grupo, and they are covering a lot of different areas of the Spain. And that's actually, we were thinking Spain is fantastic market for us, because you have all these drought problems. So you do not have enough water to even produce, and there are so many glass houses and so on, but big problems with water, so it's not fitting together. And we know that we can actually make plants drought resistant. So we were also thinking it is fantastic. We know that in Spain you are on very low yield with the wheat and so on, with the basic agricultural products, because of all this drought and so on. So that could be fantastic help for Spain. However, I don't know why this distributor was somehow, not able somehow to sell it. Of course, perhaps we should look for more distributors, but we somehow did not manage to find some better. So perhaps we should allocate some resources and have a look. Now we are very much focusing, let's say, on France, on the vineyards, to find new customers and new distributors there. But would be amazing if the next step could be then the Spain, because we were not successful with this one distributor, unfortunately. But yeah, would be definitely big potential in the Spain. So it's really only because we did not find proper partner there. So it's nothing about the costs, prices, and so on. It's really about not having right partner who can roll it in the country.
Well, thank you very much, Darina.
We had, Tam's got his hand up. There was just one quick question in the chat as well, on analysis of the side effects of the new technology on the plants. And I guess that was briefly mentioned with Antonio there, but if there's anything else on sort of what that process was like.
Mm-hmm. So actually we have, we are analyzing a lot of things, what is happening with the plants, from the chlorophyll content, nutrients content, proteins content, and it's quite interesting, but you can have very interesting benefits on the plants. We can call it side effect, whatever. So what is happening? These different phytohormones, they actually give also the signal to the plant to grow. So the auxins, for example, was produced chemically, especially from this reason, but they ban it, so it's not allowed. But in our technology, these auxins are produced biologically, so it's quite good alternative to the chemicals. So this is, for example, giving signal to grow. That's why the side effect is that biomass is very much increased. So it's quite interesting to see it. And then the plants are changing the color. Every farmer is telling us. So the leaves, for example, on the trees, they are becoming bigger, greener. So already the trees are reacting and changing the leaves. You can see it on tomatoes. They are becoming very strong and dark green. So they are becoming much stronger, changing the color. And also these have this side effect that they are immune to diseases. And this is because also to you would doctors say that go buy probiotics if you want to be healthy. Same is for animals, that they need less antibiotics if they are eating probiotic bacteria, but also plants need good, healthy probiotic bacteria. So this is a side effect, that actually these bacteria, probiotic ones, if they colonize the plant, no other diseases can come in because they are stronger and they create this healthy kind of probiotic microflora. So this is also, I mean, this one effect, and directly the metabolites, they are well known for kind of immunity to diseases, and also the pH is low, so means no fungi can survive these diseases. And additionally, liquid minerals, they little stay on the surface of the plants. So that's additionally, because it's in agriculture, you are used to spray some silicate minerals on the plants to make plants resistant to pests, to different insects, to different diseases. So this is additionally kind of, again, side effect. Then the side effect is also this drought resistance, what I mentioned. But we see also frost resistance in some cases when we have from Thiobacillus such protein rusticianin. It's making molecules in the plant that no crystal is created in the cell. So it's do not damage the plant, means like apricots, peaches, kaki. So different fruits was able to survive the spring frosts. So this is side effect, but and then of course on the microbiome in the soil. Then also microbiological carbon in the soil is increased, doubled, and honestly the negative effect we saw only in case we applied very high concentration. We were able to burn the plant, especially on the young plants. Very high concentration can burn them, then it's too much for them. But other side effects, not really. Also for the health, the farmers, all of farmers are telling us that actually the cows are coming only to the place where the grass was sprayed with our product, that they feel it, that there is more nutrients probably. I don't know, they select this grass to eat first. Then the other farmer from Czech Republic, he told that wild pigs was coming to his field and were eating only corn where he applied our products. I don't know why. It's so we have a lot of these funny stories. Or a farmer from Amron Island, he said that cows, when eating these barley after application of our products, that they have better liquid manure. So it's obvious that you have better gastro tract. So I mean, these are the additional benefits. And especially for ecological farmers, then if there are no fungal diseases, there is no toxins production. So even in the ecological production, then this is much safer than for food industry.
Okay, perfect. Very comprehensive. Thank you very much for that. I think that should have answered Sham's question. Tama, do you want to jump in?
Yes, first of all, sorry, Rory, I promise you that I will not ask, but I have to ask something. You highlighted that the chemical fertilizer, there is people behind it. So do you think is it cheaper or expensive than your product? This is the first question. The second question, did you try to open the market in North Africa, especially Egypt? Because, you know, in North Africa and especially Egypt, we have a big problem with the water resources. And if your product will help to reduce the using of the water, I think this will be a very big add value for the economy there.
Yeah, definitely. I will answer the second question first. So we already identified one well-known farmer's advisor in Egypt. We contacted him, but no answer yet. So we need to continue and try better. We have one potential interest in Tunisia. So, I mean, we are on it. We would love to because it's also very cheap for transport. Also, what we transported to Ghana, for example, it was extremely cheap transport costs. If we transport to Zambia, this is not funny anymore. This is much more expensive. So this cost would be fantastic, definitely, for to start with the transport and so on. And we know that they have endless problems, definitely, with water, also with salinity. We know it could be fantastic help. Just always the problem is to identify the right local partner who would be interested and who would be able then to take it and give it to the farmers. Yeah, so this is always the main challenge, I would say. And then on the price, this is actually the best point. Of course, the small packages we are selling on very high prices because there are a lot of work behind it, and we even don't want to really serve to the small end customers business, let's say. So the prices are, I mean, quite high, or let's say something similar to what is on the market. But if we are talking about normal farms, they always purchase from 1,000 liters more. And then we are dropping the prices very significantly. So actually for them, it's investment from 10 euro per hectare up to something like, okay, 30, 40 euro per hectare. And they can already do very nice reduction of agrochemicals or even full replacement. So we can check what is in the soil, because of course, if you do not have nutrients in the soil, you cannot do it on the long term. So always depends what is in the soil. And this we can always check. And based on this, we are able to do recommendation if they can skip 50% of fertilizers or 100% or only 30%. And if you compare the prices, so for example, 30% reduction of fertilizer save around 100 euro per hectare. And we can easily compensate it by our product, which costs them 30 euro per hectare. So means it's not additional investment for farmer. It's actually saving him costs. And not talking about fungicides, that then really they don't need even fungicides, which is additionally 220 euro per hectare. So I would say it's cost saving, definitely. And additionally, they can earn money from carbon credits because there is also quite nice effect what is happening on the biological carbon fixation in the soils. So it's have a lot of benefits and cost saving factors for the farmers.
Well, first of all, I just want to quickly say, if anyone else has any questions, please do pop up your hands. We've got a few minutes, 10 minutes left or so. I had one final question from my end, which I guess a lot of everything that Cloud Earth Eye as a series of projects that inspire the minds and other projects are doing is looking to encourage education around innovation, entrepreneurship, green skills. And I think from your background, if I'm not mistaken, you have been heavily focused in sort of the research space, but then obviously moving into ekolive, this is more commercial activities as well, entrepreneurship, running a business. Did you have any specific entrepreneurship business training before you started doing this? And how did you find sort of transitioning from a more academic pursuit into a commercial pursuit?
Yeah, I mean, the training, it was always in the frame of EIT. So it was first EIT raw materials. And then I knew when we started to refocus into agriculture, then immediately I contacted the EIT food because it was just natural. Okay, so now we have different focus. So then we started to cooperate with EIT food, and there we were getting the training. So also EIT raw materials, also EIT food. And this was helping a lot, I have to say, that you have some advisors and mentors, and they can help you, advise you, because yeah, definitely it's not easy from researchers just to, just to become CEO and and care about everything. So definitely it was very challenging. Yeah, definitely such trainings are helping for sure.
From your perspective, what was the most challenging part of the commercial side of things, or what is? Because I guess it's still a learning process. What do you find the most difficult?
Yeah, definitely. This still learning the process and difficult. I would say the difficult is always team is the most challenging part. How to keep them engaged. Yeah, definitely. How to keep the team motivated and engaged and doing the things what they should do. Let's say for me it was most challenging, this kind of leadership issue, let's say.
Okay, really interesting. Yeah, because I guess that's something that you never really know until you're in the position. So, okay, very cool. Well, thank you for that. Are there any questions from anyone else? And if not, we can probably look to wrap the session up a few minutes early. So we'll just give it 5 seconds more, but then, okay, cool. Well, we can probably look to close it there then. I just wanted to say again, Darina, a massive thank you. It was a really interesting session. Learned a lot, sort of both about what you're doing and then more broader lessons on kind of starting a business coming from the research space, etc. So fascinating session. Thank you for your second contribution to the Cloud Earth Eye series and Inspiring the Minds. And thank you to everyone else for attending the session. And I hope you have a great rest of the day, everyone. Brilliant.
Also, thank you very much for opportunity to be here and tell you more about what we are doing. So thank you very much and good luck with
Thanks,
the project.
Thank you, Darina.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.